Babe, can you come help me reach this? Babe? Yeah, alright, Totek. This isn't even a real spear. There's something really different, but important, that you might not immediately notice about Lara Croft and the Guardian of Light. It's not the overhead, isometric view, or the twin-stick control style more popular with action-heavy shooters. It's not that the game is designed for cooperative play and best experience with a friend or loved one sitting next to you on the couch. It's not even a giant dinosaur made of lava, or the anachronism of an ancient Mayan deity firing a high-powered assault rifle. The curious difference is that the words Tomb Raider are missing from Guardian of Light's title. This isn't a game in the Tomb Raider franchise, and outside of the inclusion of Miss Croft herself and the ancient and mystical ruins she finds herself in, the game could not be any more different from its third-person cousins. With a heavy emphasis on cooperative play, Lara Croft and her Guardian of Light cohort, Totek, must jump, swing, throw, shoot, switch, climb, bomb, roll, tightrope walk, and more through a wide variety of dungeons, poisonous swamps, and molten caverns. Lara and Totek each have their own unique abilities that they must use in conjunction with one another to make progress, oftentimes requiring both players to talk about the next series of moves, as simply winging it will undoubtedly leave one or both of you falling down a bottomless pit. This cooperative planning really shines in the game's numerous treasure rooms, specific locations sometimes off the beaten path of the main adventure. Each treasure room contains a uniquely tailored puzzle, or puzzles, that reward cooperative players with bonus items, each with their own unique effect on player stats like health and movement speed. Controls are tight and responsive, but go a little beyond your typical twin-stick fare. With nearly every button on the controller responsible for unique action, the complexity of movement needed by the later stages occasionally becomes overwhelming. This difficulty can be offset by the aforementioned icon, relic, and boost items, but quick reflexes and careful movements are key when the going gets really tough. With its heavy emphasis on coordinated and cooperative play, an easy-to-learn but difficult-to-master control scheme, and its The Mummy Returns to the Temple of Doom aesthetics, how does Lara Croft and the Guardian of Light stack up?
So actually this time we're taking a look at Lara.
Miss Croft.
Lara Croft and the Guardian of Light, which is put succinctly as a twin-stick shooter, puzzle platformer. So the genre is not new to us. We've played a bunch of twin-stick, mostly shooters before.
Yeah.
But given the puzzling, the platforming, and the puzzle platforming, the game kind of throws some additional buttons and some mechanics at you than those other typical twin-stick games do.
Yes.
So how did you find that?
Took some work.
Mm-hmm.
There is a lot more than I'm used to.
Mm-hmm.
And they all needed at different times, and you do have to kind of like really work to get them all together to, make it through the levels. But
Yeah.
most of my frustrations didn't really have to do anything with the controls.
The game handles really well.
Yes.
It's more what they ask you to do with those controls, particularly toward the end of the game, that gets a little rough on the thumbs.
Yeah, it was really awesome to be able to like kind of get all that going and nothing just kind of like stops it.
Yeah,
So.
for sure. For us, when we play games, you and I tend to fall into kind of roles when we play. But in Guardian of Light, both Lara and Totek, who is the Guardian of Light in the title, have their own special abilities that are unique to them. Lara has her grappling hook, and Totek has his shield and his spears.
Yes.
And in multiple places, I mean, the game is engineered around these two things.
Yeah. I thought it was awesome.
Yeah.
I loved that I wasn't always just kind of following where you went. We did have to work completely in tandem. It was way more equal than a lot of games that we've played before.
Yeah.
Especially in the puzzle rooms.
Definitely. Yeah.
It was awesome. I mean, there were times that I did have to follow just because that is what was required.
You know, in the game, there's these special rooms where basically what they consist of is a very tailored, engineered puzzle that you are to solve, usually together.
Yes.
And it's in those points where the game kind of slows down a little bit, and you sit there and you plan out, how do we do this? Where do you have to go? What do I have to do? And mostly in the beginning of the game, you ended up solving a lot of the rooms.
I did notice that I tended to see a lot of the path of which how we had to get to the end of the puzzle, how to solve it. And I mean, that's not typical for us, so it was really fun that I was able to kind of take the lead on a lot of the puzzle rooms. Yeah.
I thought it was awesome that the game kind of reached beyond just hitting buttons and time with something and allowed you to have a strength that was just you. Like, you just are good at that.
Yeah.
And, I mean, it was just really awesome to have that. Like, there is no real leader here. It's more of like, who's the leader right now?
For the most part, it was way more equal than a lot of games.
Yeah, it does a really good job of making both players feel vital and crucial and important to the experience, because you literally are.
2,000 years in this prison. Now I will bathe in your blood.
So actually, that's kind of what it's like to play Lara Croft and the Guardian of Light. But, you know, what did you think of the game itself?
I love it.
Yeah.
I love the look of all like the puzzle rooms, along with like the pathways through the different areas. They have a lot of different looks, but still being consistent. It's a really fun game to like watch everything that they have built into the like caverns that you're in.
Yeah, the game really has that kind of like Legends of the Hidden Temple feel to it. These big like Olmec faces, big stone doors, and like Mesoamerican shaman looking things, and they're throwing fireballs or raising the dead or doing both, and like the big kind of stepped temples and all that, the ruins. And there's the part where like for some reason every broken down car in the game is this like old military Jeep that looks like it fell out of an Indiana Jones film. But overall it really just kind of nails that roller coaster kind of blockbuster ride feel.
Yeah, it's awesome.
So actually, after all of that, does this game co-op?
Very well.
Yeah.
Yeah. More so than a lot of games that we've attempted.
So. Yeah.
It made for a really fun time because the pace changed, the leadership role changed. Like, it looks good. Like, it really brought out the best of both our skills, I think. And it was a ton of fun.
It is a ton of fun. For the first half.
Yeah.
There is this weird kind of switch halfway through the game where, for some reason or another, I mean, every game has a difficulty progression. Obviously, it can't be easy the whole time.
Yeah, no.
There has to be, building challenge. I understand that. But there's this very almost clear delineation, and it's one stage in the game where the game goes from this even balance of puzzle solving, platforming, and combat.
Yes.
And sort of just goes combat and platforming.
It was a clear change that like became not nearly as fun.
Yeah, I mean, at some point when I'm wielding a chain gun
as Totek,
and I'm just mowing down dozens of these skeleton enemies.
Yeah.
While my power up is recharging my health and my ammo as I'm firing, it just you kind of ask yourself like, well, what happened to this game? It started as this interesting kind of adventure, and it's just turned into this like shooter toward the end. And when it's doing co-op right, it's some of the best co-op play I've ever participated in. It's totally awesome. So definitely check it out.
Absolutely.
With these fun little 5-minute runs of us bombing the crap out of each other.
Right.
So
it does both duties amazing.
Yeah, it's a great game. Check it out. It's cold?
I was freezing a minute ago.
Let's get the hell out of here.